Learning the C++ computer programming language. Learn by listening. Exercise. Introduction. This is the first in a series of chapters that will help you learn to program computers in the well-known C++ language. The intent of the entire series is that you can simply listen to the narrated text, which has been made clear enough to follow, even if you don't watch the video image. I found the basis for all of this information on a wonderful website here. worldwideweb.com/doc/tutorial/. I highly recommend that website for additional resources and updated information on the C++ language, and I am very pleased to acknowledge their major contribution to these chapters, which originated from free information available there. I have cleaned up and added to their information a bit and have made it available in audio form for those that learn by listening. Because this is intended to be primarily an audio resource for learning by listening, some of the visual text has been optimized for listening clarity, which may make it look a bit funny. For example, we've inserted extra white space between words and punctuation. We've also gone to great lengths to include precise pronunciation of all of the punctuation characters that are found after this introduction, in the more technical sections, and we've added contextual line numbers along the left edge of each program listing. There will also be times when we temporarily zoom the text size way out, resulting in much smaller text characters, in order to show every long code line without breaking it up across multiple screen lines. We know this can look funny, but we hope those of you that want to study by listening will be tolerant of these special edits and compromises, which are sometimes necessary in order to get the presentation we want with our available video hardware and our text-to-speech tool. You might even want to close your eyes and just listen. The other small edits I've performed are just for the benefit of absolute beginners to the C++ language. Mostly, I've added some additional, basic definitions and clarifications to help beginners establish an appropriate, basic context. As you use these chapters to progress into and beyond the beginning stage, I recommend that you reference the accompanying source code listings and other resources that are available at c++.com. At some point, as you advance, you'll come to know that you are ready for the more sophisticated style used at the c++.com website. Until then, let's commence at the beginning. Part 00. Compilers. To get started with these tutorials, you will need to gather a few tools. The essential tools are a computer and a compiler able to compile C++ code and build the programs to run on it. While we expect that most beginners will be using a desktop or a laptop computer running a recent version of Microsoft's well-known Windows operating system, all of our information will apply equally to those running Linux or a Macintosh operating system. For any of these systems, it is usually easy to obtain a C++ compiler free of charge by downloading it from well-known websites on the internet. At the end of this chapter we've included some suggestions that will help you to do that. But first, let's cover a few basic definitions. What is a compiler? Computers understand only one language, and that language consists of sets of instructions made of ones and zeros. This computer language is appropriately called machine language. To complicate things further, different computer types, open parenthesis, based on different microprocessors, for example, close parenthesis, use different combinations of ones and zeros to represent operations. For example, a single instruction to a computer could look like this. 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. A particular computer's machine language program that allows a user to input two numbers, adds the two numbers together, and displays the total could include these machine code instructions. 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. As you can imagine, programming a computer directly in machine language using only ones and zeros is very tedious and error-prone. To make programming easier, high-level languages have been developed. High-level programs also make it easier for programmers to inspect and understand each other's programs. This is a portion of code written in C++ that accomplishes the exact same purpose. Line 01 of 05 int a, sum, semicolon. Line 02 of 05 cn, double right arrow a, semicolon. Line 03 of 05 CN, double right arrow me, semicolon. Line 04 of 05 sum equals A plus me, semicolon. Line 05 of 05 C out, double left arrow, sum, double left arrow, and all, semicolon. Even if you cannot really understand the code above, you should be able to appreciate how much easier it will be to program in the C++ language, as opposed to machine language. Because a computer can only understand machine language and humans wish to write in high-level languages, all high-level languages have to be written, open parenthesis, translated, closed parenthesis, into machine language at some point. This is done by special programs called double quote, compilers double quote, double quote, interpreters double quote, or double quote, assemblers double quote, that are built into the various programming applications. C++ is designed to be a compiled language, meaning that it is generally translated into machine language that can be understood directly by the system, making the generated program highly efficient. For that, a set of tools are needed, known as the double quote development tool chain double quote, whose core are a compiler and a corresponding linker. Console programs. Console programs are programs that use text to communicate with the user and the environment, such as printing text to the screen or reading input from a keyboard. Console programs are easy to interact with, and generally have a predictable behavior that is identical across all platforms. They are also simple to implement and thus are very useful to learn the basics of a programming language. The examples in these tutorials are all console programs. The way to compile console programs depends on the particular tool you are using. Getting started with an appropriate set of software tools. C++ is a language that has evolved much over the years, and these tutorials explain many features added recently to the language. Therefore, in order to properly follow the tutorials, a recent compiler is needed. It should support, even if only partially, the features introduced by the 2011 standard. Many compiler vendors support the new features at different degrees. See the bottom of this page for some compilers that are known to support the features needed. Some of them are free. The easiest way for beginners to compile C++ programs is by using an double quote integrated development environment double quote open parenthesis IDE closed parenthesis. An IDE generally integrates several development tools, including a text editor and tools to compile programs directly from it. We recommend using the well-known, free code blocks compiler tools, which are available for Windows, Macintosh, and Linux environments. Use your favorite browser and search engine to search for double quote code blocks double quote or double quote code double colon blocks double quote to download and install the latest, greatest version. The details of each type of installation vary, so we can't cover them here, but please be assured that tens of thousands of beginners have downloaded, installed, and used them by relying on instructions that are available free of charge online. Open parenthesis. If you happen to have a Linux or Mac environment with development features, you should be able to compile any of the examples directly from a terminal just by including C++ flags in the command for the compiler. Please consult the website at cplus.com/doc/tutorials/ for a detailed listing of the required flags and for access to the unedited source code examples. Close parenthesis.